Justice will come from finding the truth, preserving the evidence, and holding the responsible person accountable under the law. We are waiting for the toxicology result, the tissue analysis report, the official determination of her cause of passing, authentication of alleged phone messages, confirmation of the bank withdrawal. How did Elisabeth-Jane Ross pass? Elisabeth Ross deserves more than speculation. She deserves answers. Her family deserves to know exactly what happened. And if someone caused her passing, that person must be held accountable through credible evidence and a fair legal process. Since our last discussion about the passing of the Scottish aid worker Elisabeth-Jane Ross, now the accused boxer has returned to court. And not only has he returned to court, the judge has ordered him jailed pending trial, as they should. But here's where the story takes another turn. The man who reportedly told police that he found Elisabeth already gone, panicked, and placed her body inside a suitcase did not repeat that explanation before the magistrate. Instead, he exercised his right to be silent. And now his lawyer is now questioning whether authorities can prove how Elisabeth passed because the toxicology results and final coroner reports are still missing from the whole case file. So does the prosecution have enough evidence to prove homicide? We don't know. Or will the unanswered questions surrounding this woman's cause of passing become the foundation of the accused man's defense? Like, this case is turning into something else. Let's go through the latest confirmed development. Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back to Yes Life Coaching Woman Stand in Your Power. If you have been following this case with me, let me know in the comments. I'll be right back.
Stand in your power, own every minute, every hour. This is your story starting now. Stand in your power, let the world see how. Stand in your power, stand in your power now. Turn up your voice, your truth, your wow. Stand in your power, this is your channel now.
Before we begin anything, before we start, wherever you are watching from, please let me know where you are watching this video from. Please do like the video. I want you to go ahead and like the video, share the video if you're watching from wherever you are watching from. And yes, go ahead and like the video, subscribe, turn on your notification, because the whole story is still developing. The updates that I'm about to give you is based on reporting from Reuters and the Associated Press as of today, August 7th. So what we are having is that the accused man has not been convicted. Allegations are not the same as proven facts, so the man remains presumably innocent until he is found guilty. So let me give us a recap of this case. Elisabeth-Jane Ross was a 38-year-old Scottish psychotherapist and humanitarian aid worker. She was known as Lisa to her family and friends. She had reportedly spent years helping vulnerable people through Christian refugee and humanitarian organizations. This woman traveled to Greece in late June and later moved into an apartment associated with a refugee support organization. Now, on July 17th, she disappeared. 3 days later, a homeless man discovered her decomposing body inside a suitcase at an abandoned building in the Kypseli area of Athens. Now, because of the condition of her remains, the initial postmortem could not determine exactly how she passed. Investigators have not ruled out asphyxiation or suffocation, but there has not been all those have not been medically confirmed. So, a 26-year-old Afghan professional boxer was later arrested. Okay, British and Greek media have widely identified him as Sharif Ahmadzai, although the Greek authorities have not fully released his name because of the country's privacy laws. Okay, so this video is all about the latest court development. As of yesterday, this man appeared before an investigative magistrate at a courthouse in central Athens. His hearing lasted nearly 3 hours. Now, after the hearing, the magistrate ordered him to remain in jail while he awaits trial. As they should. If I was the one too, I would say, hey, you gotta be in jail. That means he will not be released while the criminal proceedings continue, but we must understand something important. Being jailed pending trial does not mean he has been convicted. Yes, let him stay there. Let him just stay there because we don't know who will be next, okay? So pre-trial detention is a court decision made while the investigation and prosecution continues. His guilt or innocence, in other words, has not been decided. So this man remains silent. During the initial questioning, reportedly denied ending Elisabeth. According to investigators, he claimed he entered the apartment and discovered her already gone inside the bathroom. He reportedly said that he panicked. He placed her body inside a suitcase and then he moved it to an abandoned building. What are you trying to say? However, when he appeared before the magistrate court, he did not answer the charges. He exercised his legal right to remain silent. So his attorney said that silence should not be interpreted as refusing to cooperate. Oh boy. Okay, all these lawyers be doing a lot. His lawyer explained that the defense wants to examine the complete evidence before the accused gives a comprehensive response. So when they do that, in my opinion, they're trying to look for loopholes before they say anything. And his lawyer said that the evidence reportedly includes the final coroner's report, toxicology results, and documents concerning Elisabeth's belonging. So for now, the accused is not withdrawing his original story, but he is also not formally repeating or defending it in court. So what is the strategy we are seeing here? The lawyer is drawing attention to one major weakness in the case. Authorities have not publicly established the cause of her passing. So he says that the initial examination found no visible injuries and no obvious medical cause of passing. So because Elisabeth's remains were badly decomposed, investigators reportedly could not immediately determine whether she passed from suffocation, poisoning, asphyxiation, a medical emergency, or another form of violence. So that's what the update is. The toxicology and tissue analysis result maybe could answer some of these questions, but these reports have not yet been added to the case file as of now. So this is likely to become a central part of the defense. Okay, the man is working for his money, so the argument may be you can prove that my client concealed the body, but can you prove that he caused her passing? So that is the angle that the lawyer is going at this point. So these are two legally different questions. What the prosecutors may argue is even without a confirmed cause of passing, investigators could have several pieces of circumstantial evidence, like the surveillance footage that was showed shows that he was transporting a large suitcase towards the area where her body was found. So that could be used against him. Elisabeth's bank cards were reportedly used after she disappeared. So they have alleged that more than 10,000 or 11,000 euros was withdrawn from this woman's account. Okay, messages were allegedly sent from her phone after investigators believed she was already gone. So some of these messages reportedly suggested that she needed time alone, potentially delaying her family from reporting her gone. Another thing they could use is the mobile location information, allegedly placing the accused near this woman's apartment around the same time where she passed. And then again, his wife contacted police after becoming suspicious about his movement, about the unexplained money, the gift he was buying her, and all the other unusual behavior. Each piece of evidence may not prove homicide in itself, but prosecutors may actually argue that the complete pattern tells us all a story, as it should. This is just glaring. You had access to the apartment. At the same time, the woman disappeared, the suitcase, the transactions, the phone messages, and the alleged attempt to conceal the body. Okay? So, if he had reportedly admitted that he moved or concealed her body, but then he is denying causing her passing, that creates the question at the center of the case. So, who ended her? If he found her gone through no fault of his own, Why did he not immediately call emergency service? Why did he not immediately call police? Why would you go ahead and place her body inside a suitcase? Is that one not madness? Why would you transport her to an abandoned building? These are the actions of a guilty person. These are the actions of somebody who did something and is trying to cover it. And if reports about the bank card and the phone messages are accurate, why would her financial account and phone be used after her passing? Well, I can say that his explanation is legally possible, that people sometimes panic and make irrational decisions. But let's look at it like this. These were not simply the actions of a frightened person. These are deliberate steps to conceal a crime, to obtain money, and to delay her family from discovering what happened. Ultimately, in my opinion, a court must decide which explanation is supported by the evidence. So there are a lot of facts as well as there are a lot of assumptions. Okay? I really listen. It is what it is. Unanswered questions must be investigated, but they must never be replaced with assumptions. In this case, a lot of people can choose a side immediately. One group says he moved the body, so he must have ended her. Another group is saying there is no confirmed cause of passing, so authorities have no case. Let me know where you are. But in my opinion, I believe responsible analysis requires us to hold two truths at the same time. The accused man's reported behavior raises, in my opinion, serious and disturbing questions. The prosecution must still prove, the homicide allegation with reliable evidence. And justice for Elizabeth does not come from us rushing to conclusion. Justice will come from finding the truth, preserving the evidence, and holding the responsible person accountable under the law. So why is this case important to us? This case, in every case we talk about, there's always a lesson. The lessons here is about what happens when trust exists without protective system. This Elizabeth woman was reportedly staying in accommodation connected to humanitarian work. Multiple people may have had access to that same apartment. That raises important questions for every organization that houses volunteers or vulnerable people. Who has the keys? Who is authorized to enter the building? Entry records maintained. Who is contacted when a volunteer misses a scheduled check-in? And what happens when someone suddenly begins sending messages that are inconsistent with her normal behavior? See, compassionate work still requires accountability. Trust, in my opinion, is valuable, but trust should never be the only safety system. If you are watching this video, here is one thing I want you to always remember. Okay? The absence of a visible injury is not the absence of truth. The truth may be found in toxicology, details, digital records, financial transaction, and behavior of this person involved or the people involved. That is why every piece of evidence in this case matters. So, what are the things that could happen next? We are waiting for the toxicology results, the tissue analysis report, the official determination of her cause of passing, authentication of alleged phone messages, confirmation of the bank withdrawal, okay, and any other verified evidence involving another person. We are also waiting for the trial date. Until these results are released, the most important part of this case remains unsolved. How did Elisabeth-Jane Ross pass? How did she pass? What do you think? Does the accused man's explanation that he found Elizabeth's past and panic make sense to you? Or do the alleged CCTV footage, bank withdrawals, and phone messages make his explanation difficult to accept? Let me know respectfully in the comment. Remember, we are examining the evidence. We are not declaring anyone guilty. Okay? Elisabeth Ross deserves more than speculation. She deserves answers. Her family deserves to know exactly what happened. And if someone caused her passing, that person must be held accountable through credible evidence and a fair legal process. Until the next verified update, recognize your worth, strengthen your voice, protect your boundaries, choose your future, and always stand in your power. I will see you in the next one.